Who? What's going on? What's going on? Tank Davis. He's the greatest fighter in the world, like Ellaby likes to say. Well, we haven't heard from him for a while. We all know what happened with his last bout that he had. Um, broke his hand. Had a couple of issues, but he was able to do what it was necessary in order to become victorious in that particular bout. And he would have been able to knock him out, but like I said, the one issue, his whole setup, his whole build is set up to fight guys that are bigger than him, taller than him. Those tall, lanky guys like a Devin Haney build, a Ryan Garcia build, the Teofimo Lopez build. His whole game is circled around fighting those kind of fighters. Whether it be going to, he's able to go to the body easier. He's able to go up slip shots up top. Just able to make moves a lot easier, put a lot of energy into his punches. But when he fights guys that are shorter than him, the angles are all different. So it puts him into a space where it gives him a little bit of trouble where he can't necessarily hit them with the same kind of vigor and power as he usually does, especially with somebody as compact as Cruz. But he did what he needed to do. You know, we saw someone like a Gary Russell in the same type of situation where he had a shoulder that was out and he couldn't necessarily, come out of that situation. So it's not easy. When you're limited like that, as we saw in that fight, it's not easy to come out with the victory. But he did, and so it's kind of like, what's next for him? Who is he going to fight next? Um, a long shot. Let's start with the long shot. But I wouldn't be shocked if he fought Keith Thurman next. And the reason I say that is just for the fact that we just saw Keith Thurman fight at 145 pounds. And everybody's like, oh, he got into shape and he really wanted to show that he was in shape. But like Goosen was saying during the interview, that's moronic. It's stupid. It's asinine. You're just putting yourself into a space where you could drain yourself. Like Adrian Broner did. I think when he fought against Mikey Garcia, he came in like 2 pounds lighter, didn't hydrate light. You don't do that. If you're supposed to make 147 pounds, your goal is to be at 147 pounds for a couple of minutes. So you stand on the scale and you put those fluids into your system. You don't want to do anything other than that. Period. You don't want to go into that at all. But he did that, and the only reason I could think of maybe him doing it is because he's trying to come down in weight and trying to get to a particular weight in order to do maybe another fight. Maybe showing that, hey, I can make 143 pounds or I can make 142 pounds where you would be doing some kind of catch weight fight. So, I'm thinking that, or it could just been a thing where Barrios was not gonna was not gonna fight him unless he hit 145 pounds, and he just didn't say anything or whatever it is, or maybe just decided he was gonna be 145 pounds. I don't know, but I'd say it's a long shot. But I say don't be surprised if he ends up fighting Gervonta Tank Davis in a catchweight. Don't be shocked at all. The next guy that I think that he might be able to fight next would be, don't be shocked again. Don't be shocked if the Kambosos fight doesn't come through. They're being quiet. Supposedly they're going to be fighting Rolly next. But I would say don't be surprised if at the ninth hour, the 10th hour, whatever the saying is, the 11th hour, don't be surprised if that fight gets announced. Because at the end of the day, it's still, out of all the guys that Kambosos has the ability to fight, that's the biggest fight. Even with him taking a B side from a Gervonta Tank Davis fight, he's still going to make substantially more money than he would during the other two fights. Unless, someone like DAZN does what I think they're going to do, which is give him a multi-fight deal. Where he's going to be able to fight a lower tier fighter at home, get paid a good amount of money for it. And maybe after that fight, a Ryan Garcia or somebody else, which I don't think DAZN's going to care. All DAZN's going to care about is he bringing in subscribers to their Australian market. And I think, because, people were asking like, hey, why isn't DAZN going all out when it comes to Devin Haney? So they could have all these belts in-house and really control this weight class. And the thing is that they don't need Devin Haney to do that. They could pay Kambosos and just bring him in and just put him into the fold. You could just do that. You could just pay him, bring him into the fold, then you have all the belts. Then you have somebody that you can market to your Australian, to your Australian, people, that you're trying to get subscriptions from. And he's perfect for that, especially if he holds all the belts. But if that doesn't happen, and they can't come up with a deal, I wouldn't be shocked if Kambosos' team reversed back around and they set up some kind of deal with Gervonta Tank Davis, where it'd be a big fight. You're talking about he did a 3.7 gate with Cruz. He did a 4.5 with Barrios. You know, for you undisputed basically bout, he's doing unified bout, whatever, 3 belts in the line. Somebody just beat Teofimo Lopez. They're gonna do that $7 million gate and up. They're gonna do that 400, 500,000 plus pay-per-view. Then you got the Australian pay-per-view. There's a lot of money that can be made in that fight. So I wouldn't be shocked whatsoever if that fight was next or if that fight was later on this year. Also, because right now the WBA is consolidating their belts. And one of the people who's they're supposed to be consolidating right now is Rolly's belt with Gervonta Tank Davis belt. That's why they ordered that fight, and they're supposed to be fighting next. So that's probably the most probable fight that he's going to do. And then after that bout's done, the WBA is going to want to consolidate, obviously, him with the main belt, which I believe, long if they do it like the WBO does it, they're going to go by what you usually get paid and things of that nature. So then Gervonta Tank Davis is going to get what he usually gets anyway. So that's an option. That's something that could happen. So, it's probably going to be Rolly, but I would say because he was supposed to be the person that he faced last anyway. And right now, if the Kambosos thing wasn't around, the next person he was supposed to fight next was supposed to be Cruz. But obviously they had to flip it around because of the things that Rolly was going through. So we'll see. He's quiet right now. He is in training. He's in training. He's in shape. He's focused. And we'll see what happens, but look forward to whatever it is. And no matter what it is, as with every Gervonta Tank Davis fight, it's always action-packed. People always crying about, always fighting this guy's fighting that guy, but it always ends up being a spectacular fight. Please let me know which fight wasn't a spectacular fight that was enjoyed by the fans. The Santa Cruz fight wasn't. The Barrios fight wasn't. I remember what everybody was saying before the Barrios fight. I don't know about that size. I don't know. It's going over the 140 pound. He gets clipped by this dude. That's what everybody was saying before the fight. That's why I did a $4.5 million gate and did over 230-some plus thousand pay-per-views. Because people were hyped about that fight. Everybody started talking all the other stuff afterwards. And then the Cruz is this, Cruz is that. Now we want to see Cruz fight everybody. We want to see Cruz fight Devin. We're saying that Ryan Garcia is ducking Cruz. It's all about Cruz there. Because it ended up being a really hard, tough fight where you didn't know what was going to happen, what was happening. You didn't know who was, going to win this fight until the end, until those cards got read. So, they said it was going to be a tough fight. That's what it ended up being. It wasn't no walkover that they put him in the ring with. So, but regardless, we'll see what happens. We'll see who chooses. Like, subscribe, share. I'm out.